Hello everyone, it's FarmSimGuy here, hope you're all doing well. I am beyond excited to show you this map. This is Loma, Montana, and this is by No Creek Farms. Now you will know No Creek Farms very well from, of course, No Creek Farms back in FS17, but also Medicine Creek, the original Medicine Creek in FS19 too. And this is exemplary as a map goes. It's still in beta, so there's a few things still being worked on. It's not quite ready to come out yet. But talk about maps that grab your attention and make you sit up and take notice. This is phenomenal. You will have seen there from the little montage at the start just how different this is. The topography of the map, the topography of the area in Montana where this is different, I think, to anything we've really seen in any FS map so far in 22 anyway. So I thought I would give you a little bit of an early preview tour around it. Thank you very, very much to No Creek Farms for allowing me to do this. I hope I do it justice because I think this is one of the, has the potential to be anyway, one of the standout maps of FS22, and to be honest, comes at the perfect time. We're 3 years into the game at the moment. A little bit of dip in interest and motivation for a lot of people with FS22, and I know there's been a few challenges recently. So it's wonderful to see a modder come and bring something like this to the table, because it just reinvigorates and re-injects my enthusiasm in the game, which is what we're looking for all the time. So let's give you a little bit of background, because No Creek has been good enough to share a lot of detail about why and how we selected this area. So this is based around Loma, which is a small town in Montana, only about 80 people, and it sits in the convergence of three rivers. The small Teton spills into the Marias, which in turn runs into the Missouri River. And if we jump quickly into the PDA, you will see those three rivers all converging together. And it's quite, I think, a historical point in the US. It's called Decision Point, and two explorers, Lewis and Clark, were here 220 years ago, and they were basically mapping out the rivers in the US, and there was a decision point here whether or not they named the river the Missouri River or not. So very interesting. I'll put a few little links to descriptions of things that No Creek shared with me to give me the background to this, which was really, really interesting. And these are actually photographs that have been turned into billboards that we've put in the information center here in the middle of the map from the real place out there in Montana. So I'm going to spin around quickly because straight away you see these, I guess, very familiar landscape of Montana here. These grooved hills and areas, tributaries basically dropping into the river and into the valley. And it's gorgeous. It's a 4X map, I should say that straight out of the box. So sorry, console players, but it is the way it is, I'm afraid. And until something changes with the game, we are stuck with what we've got. You can probably just about make out a train running along there. Now, that train today no longer exists. The tracks have been lifted, but No Creek's brought that back into the map. So lovely to see that, so we can sell off-site and things like that. And we'll go down, we'll have a look. That is the town over there. You can see some of the silos over there as well, so we'll go down and we'll have a look at those in a little while. But let's jump back into the PDA quickly and give you a little bit of an idea of what's what before we jump in the truck and have a drive around. So there we are. Right now I've bought a lot of the areas actually because I want to show you some of the stuff, but there we are right in the middle of the map. That is the Decision Point Trail, and as you can see, he's used a proper Google map for the PDA, which I always like to see. It just tells you that is definitely based and accurate to real life. Then we've got three main farms, but there are a few other little areas that you can use as well. We've got here a large arable farm attached to these very big fields up on the plateau. We've got a huge beef operation down here, which I love, and we'll spend a bit of time on that because it looks great. And again, you'll have seen from the montage at the start, there's a lot of cows there, and he's done a wonderful job of making it feel authentic and not having, you know, a 600 cattle pasture with 30 cows roaming around it. Just the way he set it up is clever, really, really clever. Again, we've got a few more bins up here, and we have the third official farm sitting up at the top of the map here. So we'll go and have a look at all of those. We'll have a look at some of the fields. We'll have a fly around. There's a dealership down here as well. We've got your seed buy and sell point. You've got your animal dealer here. We'll have a look at Loma, the town as well, because it's just nice. It's done really, really nicely. And again, like I said, what you would expect from somebody like No Creek, that the standards are going to be incredibly high on this. And even though it's still in testing and isn't completely finished, you know, and I get the feel for how good this map is going to be. This is for me going to be one of the maps of FS22. I've said it already. It feels like the Flint Hills that I found in FS19. I think this could be the map for me for 22. Anyway, let's push on and have a look around. First and foremost, we have extra crops. We have flax, peas, lentils, rye, millet, alfalfa, and clover. We also have swathable crops. So wheat, barley, canola, and flax you can swath using BC Bueller's Swather pack, which is great. He's updated as well the gravel roads using 3D gravel. So let's look out of the map here, and we'll, as you can see here, these are custom. And as we go towards the gravel road here, there's a lot of detail in these, which I think are really, really nice. We've got custom buildings that are matched to the area that you spent time building. We've got accurate custom signage, historically accurate sites, as I've already shown you up there. This is, you know, so authentic to real life that it's brilliant. Everything's multi-terrain angle as well. We have seasonal items, so the foliage in the trees changes, which is great, but also the ground foliage changes. So in the winter, the grass and the bushes all change. It is currently has to be done manually, so updating files in the map if you want to do that. But No Creek said if there are any really, really good lure scripters out there who might be able to help him, maybe we can get something organised to make it automatic and change with the seasons. Like I said, 2 custom cattle pastures as well. There's a small one over by the town, and then the big 600 cow one, which I'd showed you on the map there, so we'll go and have a look at that. We've got custom feeding as well, grains, alfalfa, flax straw and clover for them. We've got calves, heifers, bulls and cows, so you've got baby cows as well. There's some of those custom signage as well, which is lovely to see. Now, No Creek has also created a custom soil map for the map, which I think is fantastic. And basically, you've got the richer soil in the middle, but as it creeps towards the edges of the field, the yield drops there as well, which is very authentic to real life, because actually a lot of the minerals of the soil, when it rains and stuff, will run through these crevices down into the river. So really nicely done, and really adds something to it. Look at the detail of that custom map. Really, really nice. In terms of fields, I'm not going to show you field prices because it hasn't worked on that yet. But as you can see here, we have got some very, very big fields. Field 24 here, for example, includes the area. You'll see I've bought a lot of the map just for testing purposes. You'll see 72.77 hectares, 327.41 acres. Now, that probably does include some of the area that you can't use there as well. But there are also some small bits as well. Down here, 37. Just 4.2 hectares or 20 acres, a couple of small fields down there. So you've got the choice to, you know, start playing small or just go big or go home straight away. Again, up here, field 14, 19 and 18, you know, relatively small. There's some nice choices here. And again, on the plateau on the other side, you've got 4 very nice fields of a decent size as well. And then, you know, a real mix. It's great. It really is very nice indeed. Anyway, we are talking too much. We are going to jump in the truck. We're going to go for a drive around. I think what we'll do, you can just see the top of the grain silo over there. We will head up. We'll go straight on and we'll head up to the first farm at the top of that plateau over there. And we'll see you there. What we'll do, we will drive around a little bit. I mean, there's an expanse of area here that you can see ahead of you, which is untouched. So broad open plains that could be used for grass cutting. You do own it. It's not just the field boundaries that you're limited to. As you probably saw there on the map when I clicked into it, you do own big swathes of the land. So again, if you want to cut this grass and turn it into cattle feed, you're welcome to, but so much open space. I love it. I just love it's so different to anything I've seen, which makes it really, really interesting. And again, you can see that custom gravel road there as we drive up here, but we reach the top of the plateau here, and again, look over there, you can see what he's done with the map border, which I think is very special. There is barely any difference when you look over there from what is map and what is a continuation of the map border. He's continued the shapes of the map out with the map border. We'll get a bit closer in a little while and I'll show you that. But again, it just feels so alive, feels real, feels like a real place. It does not feel like any corners have been cut when he's been pulling this together, which is fantastic. So here is our first farm, and there you go. You can see the difference in heights on this map as well. And the fields that just go right to the edge of these huge cliffs and, you know, hills that drop down into the valley. So a lovely laid out farm here, super big sheds there, good old Trailer Park Farms sheds doing their thing. We've got corn drying, we've got our propane there, our tip point, lovely big set of bins as well, storage there. So you've got all your storage bins for your seeds, fertilizer, etc. Again, another vehicle shed there and another large Trailer Park Farms shed there. So definitely a big arable operation here. But again, just little things like old girders, pallets, tyres sitting around the back of sheds and things like that. But you can walk to the edge here and you're right on the edge of these steep hills, which is amazing. And it does lend itself, again, as you've probably seen in the little montage at the start, some beautiful shots with the combines cresting these hills and looking down into the valley. You can see down there as well the large cattle lot, which we'll go and see next. But it really is great. I'm really enjoying this, and these lovely custom textures on the ground as well are great. But let's just stop here and look out over the map. Fantastic. And being 4x as well, the fields, it feels big. It feels like you're out in the plains, which is great. So let's head back to the truck. We'll just drive past the farmhouse. We're going to turn out of here because to all intents and purposes, there's all that is up here on this plateau is this farm. But again, we'll maybe drive along a little bit and you get an idea for how big, just how big this field is next to us. We've already started putting a couple of combines to work in there, as you'll see when we get there, but we'll just drive along the edge of it and you just get an idea for the size of it. So there we go. Let's just jump back to the map so you can get your bearings. So there we go. We are probably just over halfway down this field already. So we'll drive down to the bottom. We'll just have a little bit of a look at some of these fields. We'll maybe use this as a reference to field 28 before we drop down. We can creep just off the map here, I believe, and get onto the bottom here. So we'll try that. So out the gate we go. And this is the start of field 28 on our left. Probably a good measure, actually. And then we'll come back along and check out field 24 next to us. But it runs along this edge. There's nice rounded edges as well. So actually, when you're using courseplay on this map, it could work very well indeed. But we'll run along here. As you can see, just gives you an idea for the scale. The road network nicely laid out too. He is going to include, believe it or not, a full auto-drive course with this when he releases it as well, which I think is a fantastic idea. So here we go. Let's just do a little turn here. And we can run right around the edge of this field as well. Again, even these slightly smaller fields are still very, very big fields. But there's a nice run over to the edge here. You've got to keep your wits about you. Don't keep your foot planted, or you'll be down into the valley. Although it's a pretty handy shortcut. Well, that's great. We can head down here and we'll head straight to the beef yard, which is just down here. So here we are off that little dirt track down the side there. And again, this gives you an idea. That is off map. And just over there is part of the map. So you can see how hard he's worked to make sure that the landscape continues beyond the edge of the map. It's just not gone for a flat image. obviously that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to do that, so I'm impressed, very impressed with that. I'm just going to come down here before we go to the beef yard, actually, because there is a sell point down here, which I thought you'd like to see. Again, these huge fields down in the valley, massive, massive fields, but again, this grass and the areas around these sell points are open to purchase as well, so you can buy those and turn those into additional fields. But this is one of the grain sell points down at the bottom of the map. So it's just a case of rolling in and tipping your wares. Again, this is modelled on what's there in real life. This isn't just a placeable taken from elsewhere. So again, look, really nice in the light there. Detail of that custom gravel on the roads as well. And you would just roll in here. There's enough space there for a small tipper trailer, but again, you'd probably be looking at your hopper bottoms. There we go. Right, we're running alongside the river here. In all essence, this is the middle of the map. Again, another big field to our right. That lighter soil texture is nice as well. Look at that. That is a custom texture. Again, kind of related to the soil colour in the area, which I think is a nice little touch. Got a little area here. A wreck area for people who want to come and sail their boats and go picnicking and things like that. So again, a nice little touch. Again, all authentic signage from the area as well. Look at that. Brilliant. No time for picnics for us today. We're too busy checking out this map. But again, just the way that the foliage has been placed around the map feels very nice too. And like I said, this is all custom foliage that drops in the winter. So your trees become bare, and then it grows again in the summer. Nice orange autumnal colours as well in the fall. So very nice indeed. Now, can we get over to the cattle farm this way? I am not sure. I'm still getting my bearings around this map, but we have a bridge over there, so we can. Yep. So heading up here again, just having the telegraph poles along the side of the road, the kind of the bushes and the shrubbery around the outside, and again, just the landscaping, so good. All been done by hand by No Creek, which is great. So here we are. Let's cross over here. Again, some of that signage, Wood Bottom Wreck area, very nice. Let's run over here, over the river, and then we're going to turn right just here and into this large cattle operation. So this is Farm 2, let's call it Farm 2, but it's not really a farm. This is purely just cattle. There's no houses or anything down here. Just a cattle operation. Past the flag, and there we go. Custom animals. We have got the calves and heifers in here. I've set this up so we've got a whole load of the bays full of the calves there, and then we've got a whole load of the bays here full with the Angus beef cattle. So there we go. Now, how he's done this, and I'm just going to jump up into flight mode to help you see it a little bit better. I mean, come on, how long have we been waiting to see accurate numbers of cattle in the yard? And it really is not struggling with frame rate or any issues like that with this. It's super smooth, but we have got 20 cows in each pen, which is what the Giant's engine shows visibly. So what No Creek's done is just gone, right, well, we'll have as many pens as we want of 20 cattle. Therefore, you get this really authentic looking view of the yard. So what we've got, they're auto watered, which is great. We've got a gate for each pen and an animal trigger point for each pen, which is great. And you've got a feed pen trigger at each side down here. And in fact, what we'll do, we'll jump into this tractor here and we'll just unload a few, because even the animation for filling the feed pen looks good. So this tractor may be a little underpowered. I did go with quite a large animal feeder to get this done. We did a little bit of a test before the vid started, but if I roll around here like so, you will see your first trigger kicks in any second now. There we go. And if I run along here, it fills nicely as you go along, which I like. Don't see enough of that, I don't think. And there we go, second pen, so we'll do it again. We'll run down there. Third pen. And we keep going. And it keeps just going like that. There we go, trigger again. We'll stop that there. And then if I jump out and we turn around, cows are making their way over. And they're getting tucked into their food. See them all moving over? How good is that? Just lovely to see. Getting tucked in. Brilliant. Okay. So there you go. That's how you feed them. And that's how you manage them, which is great. Again, same with the heifers. You've got a trigger for each one. Sorry, these are more cows, not the heifers. Heifers next one over. But you just hit the trigger. You've got your heifers, calves, cows, and bulls for Angus and Holstein at the moment. Now, we've jumped into this menu because we're going to go into silo extensions here. He's also created a manure heap trigger. And as you can see, the trigger is right up there in the distance. And as you can see, at no point can I place this unless it's in just the right point. But if I get it right, and you can see it's going to be next to the animal trigger, it's going to charge us £3 there for the privilege of doing this. So if I click on that, we now have a trigger for manure. We've got another one there. So you can go and you can add these to each pen if you like. Like so. Now we don't have any straw in our pens at the moment, but basically what you can do is you can load your manure here using the trigger, so just pulling up a manure spreader, load your trigger there, or you can take a little wheel loader in and manually dig it up and load it. So you've got choices, but I think it's a really nice touch, very cleverly done, and well thought out. There's just some clever thinking in this map, which I love. Right, back in the truck. Look at that. How great does that look? How long have we been wanting that in FS? And No Creek's managed to get a workaround for it, which is brilliant. So there we go, grain bins. Bit of storage there. The weighing shop from Trailer Park Farms again. There. This little plot here at the moment, just decorational. I'm not sure if No Creek's got plans to do something with that. That would work quite nicely for the little calves though, wouldn't it? So I'm guessing we may see some more triggers and things like that in there, which would be good. We've got grain bins over there, and these are 4 silage bunkers. So actually it's split into 1. About halfway along it splits into the second, and the same on the other side, 3 and 4. So you can rotate silage or have different seasons worth of silage running at different levels of fermentation, which is cool as well. I do like that. And again, a little half circle hut there for storage, I guess, of maybe things like fertilizer and things like that. Maybe you put your meal for your minerals for your cow feed in there. But there we go. I think this is probably one of my favourite features of the map. This really, really like it. And again, you can see the other farm up on the hill there. Great stuff. Right, okay, let's just jump in the map and get our bearings again. So what we'll do now, here we are at the cattle yard, what we'll do, we'll head up this road and we'll check out the farm here. And there are some more bins here. And then actually we can, I think, run this road down over here, I believe. We'll double check that. Right, just as we run up here, you can see the fences as well. Are far enough away from the fields, so you have no issues with courseplay. It is very courseplay friendly, this map, from my testing. Very, very good indeed. And again, another monumental size field. Let's head up here. And up back into the hills. Right, we're still going here, and you just can see the amount of open, barren space here that you could utilise if you wanted. Which is great. But here we are, arriving at, let's call it farm number 2. I know we've just been to the cattle yard, but like I said, no house there. So this is very much the second kind of full farm. Lovely farmhouse there. I've left all the triggers on for now, just so you can see what's what. But there we go. Brilliantly laid out again. It's really nice. I think it's something that's almost a little bit of a feature of a No Creek Farms map is how well and how nice the farmyards are in them. So a load of bins there. Quonset kind of half circle hub there. You've got fuel there. It's looking really, really nice, isn't it? And again, as we head out, these massive, expansive fields. Look at them. Huge. Love it. Okay, let's run along here a little bit further. Again, another huge, huge field there. And straight ahead, another huge field. And again, you can see, just as it's coming into view there with the view distance, there's a nice little line of foliage along the edge of the map there, but then it turns into the outside of the map, which looks really, really good. We'll try and go and have a look at that at some point. Get a little bit closer to it, just so you can see how good it is. Now we'll run down here. Look, there's a big bud sitting there, waiting to seed that field. And we have just a huge row of bins then here, ready to fill with crops. So again, a lovely service point there for getting stuff off the field and then being able to load it into trucks. Great stuff. Right, let's keep going along here. Again, let's just jump back to the map for a reference point. So there we are. We're going to follow this road. I think it links up and then it will bring us down to this part over the other side of the river, and we'll have a look at the town and the third farm. Again, just as we're driving, again, there's that reference point for the edge of the map versus what is on the map. And obviously it's slightly lower resolution, but I think that looks pretty good. And the fact he's kept the shapes and the contours of the land, he's not just gone with a flat image, makes such a difference, doesn't it? It really, really does. So here we are, dropping down into the valley again. You can see the fields, again, massive field sizes. But there you go, there's a great example of left-hand side of the road, fields in map, right-hand side of the road, just the map border. And it looks pretty good. Okay, I take it back. We're at a dead end into a big open expanse of grassland. Not an official field, but again, now I'm here, I thought I'd show you some great potential for silage here. So there you go. Right, we're going to have to find another route over the water. So the magic of teleportation has come to our aid, but there we go. That is the field. You can just see it over there, and there's the road that we drove down on. I am getting in the way of the traffic here. Sorry. But here we are. Again, let me just jump back to the map so you know where we are. There we are, right in the top corner here, and we're going to run along this road here. We'll run up here, the farm is up here, and then we'll run into the town. But we're running along the side of the road here. You can sell off map as well here. So that big sandy grain, that will take you over to off map, and you can sell, get money for your crops off the map there. And looking up the hill here, you can see there's buildings up there. So we've got to find a route in, which we can do just down here. The train is fantastic as well. Super long train, so authentic. It's not just like 4 carriages, which we tend to see sometimes on some maps. It's a proper big cross-state train. So there we go, around here, over the cattle grid, and up the hill here to the third farm. Here we go, we're still on the climb here, but this is kind of split over this side. You have got access to the farmhouse. Very nice farmhouse, this. Lovely views across the valley. Over the cattle grid, so there you go. Beautiful farmhouse there. Nice garages. Lovely lawn as well. You want to get your lawnmower and keep on top of that so it doesn't get out of hand. And then if you look back around here, you can see a little bit further up the hill there is your third farm. So there you go. With this one, which I like, you have got an open pasture. So there is your big open pasture. So you've got a big feed trough here. Works very similar to how it worked down at the beef farm. And then into the yard here, we have just got a load of bins. Got a nice shop there in the corner. More storage. Around, let's just roll around the back here. Hopefully we can get back round. We can. And again, more vehicle storage here. So, bit of a mix, this one. You've got a couple of nice big fields over behind you there, so you could do a bit of crop and a bit of cattle together here. Very nice indeed. Right, heading back down off the mountain, back onto the road, and we'll head into the town of Loma itself. Here we go. Narrow gravel roads, so you've got to have your wits about you as you pass people. They're doing the courteous thing and slowing down. I am not. But there we go. You can start to see the towers of the silos a little bit further ahead. So we'll keep going along here. Again, look at this green open space that you could start utilising for silage as well, if you wanted to. But here we are. We're starting to arrive just on the outskirts of the town here. And again, more fields, slightly smaller fields here. Nice access into them there over the railway. But slightly smaller fields. If you're going to start a little bit smaller, this could be where you would do that. You can see the railway splits off as well. I believe, if I'm correct, that one of these you can load the train on to go off map. There it is, the third one there. You can also purchase a couple of these as well for storage. You've got wood sell point there as well. You've got a couple of those on the map. Some of these are sell points, some of these are storage, depending on what you want to do. I purchased this one here. But there you go, storage, load and unload there. And I believe this is the one that you use to load the train. And that is another wood sell point, just there, still being worked on that. But again, all these are authentic. I believe the most westerly one, this one, is still used today. So it's been in operation for over 100 years in real life, which I think is a pretty cool little bit of information. But there we go, railway line. No train coming at the moment, which is good. And then we have another pasture over here. With a few, I've put a few calves in here. But again, let's just jump back to the map. We zoom in a little bit here. There's your lease train point. You've got this lovely little cow pasture here. A few fields just on the other side here. There's that field we just drove past there. And the town here, which looks very small. But has almost been perfectly replicated by No Creek. So let's have a little bit of a drive around that, shall we? So there we go. We'll just run through here. In fact, we'll jump in the cab and have a look how brilliantly detailed and how much time and effort has gone into pulling this together. Isn't that lovely? Just pure. Let's call it pure. Just really, really nicely done. A little bit of variety. It's not the same house plonked down 20 times and left. Everything's got its individuality. I think, you know, really closely modelled on the real life town. Remember, it's only a population of 80. But fantastic. I tell you what, if you did nothing on the big fields and just run your own lawn care business, you would be kept busy with all these little houses. It's fantastic. I'm on the wrong side of the road again. So let's roll around here. Let's just dive down here as well, because there's a few things again that are authentic to the map, that he has modelled accurately on what is in the real map. In fact, there's the train going past in the distance there. You can see that. We'll check that out again before the end as well, so you can see how long it is. But let's roll along here, because there's a few things. I need to find the fourth one, but here is Mar and Pars. So, Mars is the cafe, which is just here. And over the other side of the road is Pars, which is the local mart, which is great. Little fuel fill point there as well. There is also the museum here, and there is a nice US Postal Service little store as well, which we'll go and find now for you. There you go. Fully authentic United States Post Office. Fantastic. Right. Back in here quickly. I'm going to turn around because there is just a little hay storage shed here, and I want to show you the main shop as well. So if we roll back the way we came, up to Martin Parr's, and if we hang a left here, just there, that is a big bale storage shed with a trigger, so you can dump your bales and they'll stack inside the shed. Now we're going to head up over here because I just want to show you the last couple of things before we're done. I love the fact that you've got like that dual bridge, the bridge over the river and then the road bridge going over the rail bridge. Fantastic. So again, a few more relatively big fields this way. Not paying attention while I'm driving. But over here you have got your buy points for your seed, fertilizer, all of those things. So again, just run across the railway here, which has been done well. No big bumps or jumps there, but there we go. Lane a sign. You've got all your buy points here. Again, laid out really nicely so you can get access with big trucks and things like that. Lots of space around it, which is great. Bit of a diesel fill point as well. So that's nicely done. And over the other side you have got your dealership. So let's quickly pop over and just check that out. John Deere dealership here. I'll just run around the back. Well, you can't run around the back. It appears that the entrance here in, if you want to take vehicles out, is off the main road, which maybe makes sense because you don't want tractors pulling out onto this large main road. There's logic in it. There's logic in this whole map, to be honest. Right. Let's park up here and I'll give you my final thoughts. Again, just another reference to the attention to detail and the quality of this map. Memorial there, these information signs, authentic to the real region. Loads of interesting stories behind this map. And to be honest, this is what FarmSim is for me personally. Obviously, different people play it different ways, but this map, I think, is quintessentially what FarmSim is all about for me as a player. It's a beautiful map in a wonderful region of the world. This makes me want to get on a plane and go to Montana and see this in real life. I love it. The attention to detail, the quality of the map, you know, hats off to No Creek. The job he does is phenomenal, and it is reflected in this map. The playability in this map, I think, is huge. It could keep you occupied for hours, but it's fab. I am really, really impressed with this map. I cannot wait for this map to come out. This is going to be one special map, and hopefully we don't have to wait too long for it, because, to be honest, he could release this now. This is even though he says it's around about 90% done, it's better than a lot of maps that have been released. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful map. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I have had a blast taking you around it. It is, like I said, it's going to be up there as one of the best, most memorable maps of FS22. I guarantee it. People have been crying out for a really nice 4X US map for a while, and I think this ticks a lot of those boxes. So much open space to do what you want with it. So if you want your productions, if you want to build your own farms, all of that's available to you. If you want to use the farms that are in place, they're really well laid out and beautifully put together. There's huge fields if you want to run 4 combines and do a massive grain harvest. There's small fields if you want to start small. There's a huge cattle operation which looks incredible. I cannot tell you how good it looks and how easy it is to run and manage as well. It's, I mean, just the thought behind this map is you know, No Creek's clearly a player. He's not just a person that makes maps, because everything seems to work and seems to make sense. That is it from me. I'm just rambling now. This is amazing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. Be sure to give all the support you can to No Creek. And I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.